Hey everybody, so today's poll, which you can take part in by clicking on the link below. Today's poll over on Twitter asks you guys if you think that Julian Assange should receive protection from Donald Trump, some means of bringing Julian Assange to freedom, allowing him to stay in the United States. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that in today's poll, because a number of people believe that Julian Assange and the WikiLeaks he released showing just how complicit the media was in pushing Hillary Clinton and showing some of the Clintons' corruption, and of course revealing that John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, is a pedophile who appears very interested in satanic practices. So Pizzagate, I'm still following that. I'm still keeping tabs on it. Pizzagate is very real, but as a journalist, I'm not one of those people who's gonna chase traffic or clickbait. That's not me. And so there's nothing substantially new to report right now. When there is something new, I'll do it. But for the time being, what we know is that John Podesta is a pedophile. This is in the emails. There is no other logical explanation. And what researchers now believe is that his whole family is a satanic family, in the same way that you probably have friends who are Christian families or Jewish families. Well, the Podestas are a satanic family, and child torture and endangerment is how they honor their deity Moloch, I've been told. And incidentally, Moloch, according to Winston Churchill's memoirs, is the same deity that Hitler was worshipping. So that's pretty unusual, right? And a Hillary Clinton staffer in the WikiLeaks emails does say to Hillary Clinton, "I'll sacrifice a chicken to Moloch in the backyard." Now, initially, people thought that was a joke, and they dismissed it. Now, in light of all the other satanic and pedophile references throughout the Podesta emails, that reference cannot be fully discounted. And in fact, there's an Instagram account closely linked to the pizza shop that was being investigated. And on that Instagram account, an adult man wearing a kind of beaded necklace that researchers believe is a pedophile symbol. He's wearing this necklace. He's holding a little baby in his arms. And the caption on that Instagram post is #ChickenLover. Researchers believe that this group uses the word chicken as a code word for a small baby. And of course, pizza is a code word, and hot dog is a code word as well. And at least to my mind, as somebody who's covered much more difficult and complex topics like NSA surveillance and like the US drone program, compared to that stuff, this is actually pretty simple. Once you get over the initial shock, this is clearly a guy who's a pedophile, and this guy is closely connected to the Clintons. How far does this go? How high does this take us? And the New York Times came out with a very bizarre article trying to discredit Pizzagate and saying that it was just an attack on this pizza shop by a bunch of internet trolls and by fake news. And by the way, it's somewhat insulting for New York Times to continue to further this nonsensical fake news narrative when they were promoting this false thing up until Election Day, tweeting and posting that Hillary Clinton had a 94% chance of winning. That is not true. That was gaslighting. That was psychological abuse. That was like a psychological operation on the public that luckily failed. Hillary Clinton did not have nearly as much support as the New York Times said, and their wildly anti-Trump coverage for the last year has turned out to be mostly false. Even Trump University, all of those things have been settled. So it was just making a big deal out of almost nothing, and yet totally ignoring these concerns that have emerged from the WikiLeaks emails. So to close this one out, make sure you vote in the poll below. Let me know if you think that Julian Assange should receive some kind of direct help from Donald Trump. There's no doubt in my mind that Trump owes Assange in part for winning the election. The disclosure, which almost nobody in the media, aside from Sean Hannity on Fox, is actually saying on the air. He's the only one who's really covering this in detail, and he's showing people that in those leaked emails, the DNC emails, it shows how complicit the DNC was with many leading media outlets, including the Huffington Post, including the New York Times, including the New Yorker, and including CNN. So complicit that CNN's Donna Brazile was even giving the questions in advance to Hillary Clinton, and this happened in more than one debate. So talk about a Hunger Games country and a rigged debate process. One candidate is receiving the questions in advance, so she has time to prepare the perfect answer, and the other candidate, Donald Trump, he had to just wing it because he wasn't given the questions in advance. That is totally unfair. And so Sean Hannity, again, is one of the only people in the mainstream media using his airtime to address the fact that so many of these media outlets have been completely compromised by the Clintons. And this is not right-wing fanaticism to say that. This is, in fact, the truth. The emails show a cozy relationship that, in my view as a journalist, it strikes me as rigged media. It seems like something out of the Soviet Union to have media this closely connected to the power structure. It is not good. It is not what journalism is. And similarly, that New York Times piece about the pizza shop is not what journalism is. And that, to me, is a smoking gun. If something is fake, typically you just let it blow over. For the New York Times to write an article attacking internet trolls who are going after a random pizza shop, that doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense to me at all. So every time a pizza shop or restaurant gets some bad reviews or some bad buzz on Twitter from a couple of internet trolls, the New York Times is going to write a profile in defense of that pizza shop or restaurant? I don't think so. So what is going on here with this particular pizza shop that the New York Times felt the need to prove that there's nothing going on in an article, and yet they didn't even prove that. It's one of the most flat, factless articles I've read this year. Pizzagate, again, is very, very real, and the New York Times article trying to debunk it, but completely failing to do so, that to me is a smoking gun. The fact that the community on Reddit that was researching this, Pizzagate, has been banned and deleted by Reddit, that to me is a smoking gun. They are trying to make this disappear. And on the mainstream media, Sean Hannity talks about the aspect of the WikiLeaks emails that show how rigged our media is and how in the bag they were for Hillary Clinton. But he's not revealing, nor is anybody else in the mainstream media, the fact that through these emails, beyond any reasonable doubt, Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman is a satanic pedophile. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that newsworthy? Why would you not mention that on the news? Why wouldn't you even just say, hey, there are a number of people on the internet, a number of well-known journalists and researchers and pundits who are going absolutely crazy over this new scandal, Pizzagate. And then they could say, we don't know what to make of it yet. We still have to look in further. But there are some emails where John Podesta and his brother appear to be fetishizing girls as young as 9 years old and appear to be excited about a 9-year-old girl joining them at the pool. Is that normal behavior? I would argue it is not only abnormal behavior, it shows what these people are. And it's not one email, it's not two emails, it's the whole thing. It's hard for me not to curse in this video when discussing these people because that is how disgusting they are. But this is not fake news. This is not a couple of internet trolls. And it makes me wonder, is there somebody at the New York Times who is either a practicing Satanist, as the Podesta family is, or is in some way compromised by these Satanists? Because that article was not journalism, and it was a disservice to the victims of the Podestas. And the internet will not be quiet about this. Again, Pizzagate is very real. I'm not going to clickbait you guys and do a new video every day. When there's something new and substantial that researchers come across, I'll put it out here. Until then, there is more than enough for people to be outraged. The fact that these people came so close to getting the White House, that this campaign chairman who is a pedophile and who harms little girls almost had the cover of the entire executive branch of the federal government of the United States. This came very close to happening. This guy would be in for the next 4 years, abusing God knows how many little kids with complete immunity. That is not okay. Thank you guys for watching.